Yes, I do work here, and I'm your new manager, edit. Thanks, y'all, for the many awards. In 2016, I was the new girl. Once again, we moved every few years of my childhood. I was in a new marriage, in a new state, and had just landed a new job as a pool manager for the local YMCA. I knew nobody. I had just renewed my certifications, and was to sit in on the lifeguard training classes leading up to summer hiring. In order to get the Con Ed hours I needed for my lifeguard instructor certification renewal, day 1 of class rolled around and the room quickly filled with 16, 17, and 18-year-old high school students. They were all chatting away happily, comparing notes about prom dresses and upcoming graduation parties, who'd just gotten their driver's licenses and more. I sat at the end of a U-shaped table, waiting for the lead instructor to arrive. A cute, bubbly teenage girl sat right down next to me and asked me questions about myself. She figured out I'd just moved to town and was elated. She'd met a new friend that she could show around, as far as she was concerned. I listened intently as she told me which mall was trash, and which movie theater had the best prices, and then she asked me which school I went to. It was in that moment that I finally realized she thought I was her age. I was 26 at the time. I'm a redhead with pale skin and freckles, and only look, almost, my age if I'm wearing makeup. Which I never did to the pool. I answered her, oh. I actually just enrolled at, name of college, and I'm taking a full course load on top of this job. She excitedly told me she was also taking college courses on top of her high school classes, and was set to graduate high school early. She was a junior and 17. I thought about telling her the truth, but the lead instructor walked in right at that moment. I let him quiet the class and introduce himself, and right on cue he asked me to come to the front of the room to introduce myself as well. Hi, y'all. My name is Freckles and I'll be managing pool this summer. I'll also be helping to certify you as lifeguards. Then, we had each teen introduce themselves and played an icebreaker game. I looked at my employee roster and realized the bubbly girl would be working at my pool. The sweet girl recovered so quickly. I sat back down next to her and she leaned over and whispered, OMG. I hope I look half as good as you do when I'm old. I laughed and thanked her, and then informed her she'd be working for me that season. She looked momentarily embarrassed, but told me she couldn't wait. She ended up being one of my best guards that season, and I still keep up with her and give her references for new jobs, almost 7 years later. She just graduated nursing school and is about to have a baby. I'm so proud of her, and it's a fond memory, for sure. TLDR, a teenager mistook me for a co-worker that was also a teenager. But I was her 26 years old instructor manager. We bonded after this silly interaction, and I still keep in touch with her, give her excellent job references many years later. This happened yesterday. I had to go to a different school than normal for work yesterday. There's a group of like 6 of us going into the building when the woman in front of me turns around and glares. School doesn't start until next week. You should call your mommy and ask for a ride home. Me, I am here for the same reason you are. You can't be. I showed her my badge. I'm a staff member supposed to be here today. How did you get a fake staff badge? Now, I took this moment to consider my next move. I mean, I am a smaller adult at 5 feet 3 inches, and I was carrying my book bag. But, honestly, what kind of person would get a fake ID to attend a district-wide SPED conference? It's not a fake badge. I really work here, but you're a child. She tried to call on help from the man behind me to get me to leave. Don't you think she should go home, we don't have time for this. Just let her in. She's got the badge. He used his momentum to more or less push me and the gatekeeping lady into the building and end the argument. Once in, I went my own way, and left the glaring lady eyeing both me and the hero of a man, who didn't have time for her nonsense. I don't know who this man is, but he was my hero yesterday. Thank you, kind sir. Oh, I thought you were just a bathroom person. When I was 18, I started working at a coffee shop. It was terrifying. I hadn't done anything like it before, and most of my co-workers did not do much to hide their annoyance of the new girl, who was still learning the ropes. A couple months after I got hired, I heard they were finally hiring someone new. I knew nothing about them, but was very relieved I wouldn't be the newest employee anymore. There was only one bathroom that was shared by staff and customers, and the public had to awkwardly walk behind an area of the counter and into the back of the store. This was where we kept a large selection of coffee beans sold for home use, and was usually where new employees would start out. When I came in for my shift, the new hire was behind the counter bagging beans or something. He was a bit younger than me, and when I walked by him to get to the back, we greeted each other with cheerful customer service smiles. I had no interest in being on the floor even for an extra minute or two before my shift started, and figured we'd have a more complete introduction when I clocked in. Before long I had to re-emerge to the floor, and first thing I logged into my drawer next to the new hires. When he saw me wearing an apron and at a register, he looked at me with a surprised, but still cheery expression and proclaimed, "Oh, I thought you were just a bathroom person." I explained that nope, I work here too, and from there we more sufficiently introduced ourselves and started chatting as we had time to. From the get-go we got along pretty well and realized that we had a surprising amount of shared interests. His natural friendliness made me feel more at ease than I had since I started, and I enjoyed showing him the ropes and learning the more advanced things alongside him. Soon enough our shifts together were filled with laughter and dumb ongoing jokes and boy talk, and then our work friendship became a very real friendship. It's been 15 years since then, and he's still one of my best friends and favorite people in the world. We've seen each other through huge life changes and heartbreaks, and even spent a year as roommates. At some point we became family, and even when we're both horrible at keeping in touch, I never feel like we truly drift apart. I'm getting married next year, and am excited to have him as my bride's dude. Every so often I jokingly give him crap about the fact that his first words to me were calling me just a bathroom person. I know most of the posts here are about annoying customers, but I thought I'd share a story about someone confusing me as a customer that ended up being a really important moment in my life.